could have went and bought another car. What he did is he invested in his sons. He sent us to private school instead of buying a new car. He worked every single day for his entire life, and he made sure that we had every single thing, including the lessons and a reflection of what a man is supposed to be. If it wasn't for what it is that he made a sacrifice for, then I wouldn't be where it is that I am today, and I'm very thankful for that. But if you try to tell me, because his version of leadership is understanding that he had to make the sacrifice in order to make sure that we was great. He was the trampoline that we then jumped off of in order to really be able to execute, right? So his leadership was similar to a soldier on the field. A soldier may not necessarily become a general, but he's willing to put his life on the line in order for you to be able to have your freedom. That's leadership. So you may not necessarily execute in every aspect of what we like to promote as leadership in society, especially when it comes to making money or anything, but there's a lot of different forms of leadership. There's a lot of different forms of inspiration. There's a lot of different sacrifices that people make every single day, and they don't necessarily get the accolades for it. But I think that we need to redefine what leadership is, because most men, contrary to what you were saying in the beginning, most men are leaders. It's the fact that we see a lot of men being celebrated, that's the worst of us, that then diminish the contributions of most men in society. Most men are good fathers. Most men take care of their families. Most men are willing to make the sacrifice in order to ensure that their wife and their daughter is taken care of. Most men are willing to put their life on the line for the thing that they believe in. Most men stand on their principles and they doing the thing that they need to do in order to make sure that y'all taken care of. Most men, y'all sat here and had the conversation in the beginning of the show and said that they would crash out for y'all, even though they don't necessarily know y'all. Most men sit there and they get diminished and they get emasculated every single day, and they make the sacrifice and they stay with it. They stay with their family, even though they don't like that woman that they with, because they want to make sure that their kids is taken care of where the woman would leave. Right? The thing that we define as leadership, a lot of times women trampoline off of, but they don't really understand it. And so it's hard for them to speak to it because they ain't never had to make the sacrifice knowing that there wasn't a safety net up under them as a man. Most men are leaders. It's just that we don't want to celebrate them as such because they don't have the titles. Most men are leaders.
I agree with that. Go ahead. Yep.
The leader don't get celebrated.
No.
It's to get blamed when something go wrong, and when something go right, they give everybody else the credit. Just like quarterback or any football.
I have no problem celebrating a good man. Absolutely. My father was not one of them. So that is why I keep going talk. Your father, I'm pointing, Anton. He sacrificed everything, or made sure you went to good schools, made sure you do that. Blah blah. My dad had a whole other fucking family that I didn't find out till I was 20 years old. Okay, there's other things at play there. He worked 24/7. He was good for that. He didn't pay my mom child support for me. So there's other factors at play for him not being a good father. Was he if I ever needed anything and I was like, Daddy, I need something, did he come? Absolutely. But he wasn't that. So I look at that as being a good father. I was that kind of daddy's girl. But as in terms of his actions, that's why I don't consider him a leader. Not because of what you talked about.
So you got a personal vendetta against him because of how it is that you felt like he should have lived his life, not for how he contributed into your life. So you don't honor him the way that he's supposed to be honored because you feel some type of way about him.
I do honor him.
No, you don't. Because at first you said that he was a good dad. Now you're saying that he was.
He was. Dad. I was the only one at his funeral. I paid for his funeral. I made sure his military rights got taken care of. I did all the things that his first family wanted nothing to do with him because he was that kind of he had two families. I was the only one at his funeral. I loved my father. I didn't like how he ran his life separately from me. So yes, that has jaded my view of him. Absolutely. He didn't push me to go to school or anything like that. So comparing my father to your father, yours, sounds fantastic. So that's why I'm looking at it that way. So yeah, that's it.
That's cool.
Hey guys, I think every man has an opportunity to be a leader in his family. They say every man could be a king in his own castle. I think another important question would be, instead of is every man born leader, is every man born with, I don't want to say a silver spoon, but is every man born with this opportunity? There's a lot of leaders there's a lot of people who are in leadership positions that don't deserve to be in leadership positions. maybe because their family put them there, you know. So I think every man has an opportunity. Like Anton's saying, the man that goes out, he might not, maybe he wasn't born a rich guy, he wasn't a son of a rich guy, but he goes out and he busts his butt every day. He works hard and he comes home. He's the king of his castle. He's a leader in his household. He makes sure that the kids are taken care of, everyone's eating, things are working. He's the leader in his own right. He might not be a born leader. He might not be a born, you know, rich guy born into a certain position, but I believe every man has the opportunity to become a leader in his own household, king of his own castle.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Okay, now, anybody else? So the consensus is men are born leaders.
No, not the consensus.
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Who got the people in the back? First off, we hear people in the back.
Hey, my people.
That's your people? Okay, we can hear your people louder than you.
We need you to be a leader and get that under control.
That's not my people.
Right. Run
we
your
can hear-
household.
Yeah, Frank, we can hear them people louder than you.
That ain't me.
We know it's not you. It's your people. You just said it.
I said,
Go
that
ahead.
ain't my-
Try to speak up a little bit louder.
you know, I'm just a country fella, but them ain't my folks. I don't know them folks. Yeah, that's somebody else folks. But yeah, what I'm saying was,
Nothing.
everybody that is not born a leader, you have to go through something to be a leader. You can't tell me how to deal with a problem and you ain't never had a problem in your life. It don't make sense. You can tell me what you learned from somebody else's experiences, but you can't tell me how to deal with this problem through you being in the mud dealing with the problem. It don't make sense.
That's not true. That's not true. The whole you need to have some kind of experience to know some shit. That's not true.
All right, so you gonna go to war with a general who ain't never been off from behind the desk?
Most generals, they learn shit in books. They don't go. Most generals don't go to war themselves, but they behind the computer telling people what to do. It's 2023, boss.
Damn, military, you got to go up from the bottom rung. That's cap.
You know how many people listen to
You know
Red Pillars who
the
don't
commander of the
listen to
military
us?
is the president. And the presidents usually don't know nothing about nothing. So if you're gonna be